Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Kwek and I'm the Regional Solution Architect from Progress. In today's call, I'm going to go through with you the Sitefinity demo session using our latest version 14.3. So in today's agenda, I'm going to go through who the company is, and I will go through the Progress Sitefinity content management, addressing the multi-site language management, personalization and customer journey, user journey tracking, analytics, and business application integration. And after that, I will show some of the newer features in 14.3, followed by some Q&A from the audience. So Progress Software is a company that has been around for more than 41 years. We are listed on the NASDAQ and we have quite a number of software in our offerings. So all in all, we have these numbers. Basically, we have more than 600 millions in, now it's 700 million in our revenue run, and we have more than 2,000 employees in more than 20 plus countries, and we invest a lot into our R&D for our various products as well. Then over on the product side, we have more than 1,700 software companies that has been using our technologies, whether from Google, Oracle, or even Microsoft. Some of them white label our products and as their own so that you can use it on your end. And all in all, we have hundreds of millions consumer using our product. So you might be using it today if you didn't know. So in terms of our application offering, we offer quite a number of products as you can see here in the list. So today we're going to go through Sitefinity, briefly run through our chatbot native chat and our insight as well. Now in terms of the developer tools, these are usually meant for the front-end applications such as your mobile, your website applications, even your wearables like your watches and VR, AR as well. So over on the yellow side, we have a software called Move It Transfer, which is a secure file transfer offering. So this is either on-prem or in the cloud, and it allows you to transfer files securely, let it easily auditable as well, and you can actually set it up quite fast as well. Then on the purple side, we have the digital decisioning platform called Corticon. So this is a business rules engine that allows you to model business rules and use it in anywhere that supports on-prem installation or even in the cloud, anywhere that can support JavaScript. So it could be on the AWS Lambda, Microsoft Functions, or even in your mobile phone as well. So any rules that you can set up, you can actually deploy to any of these locations. Now over on the lower left side, which is the infrastructure management, so we have the Chef, DevSecOps, configuration management, as well as compliance management as well. So this software allows you to look at the software on the server or desktop level and configure them, and also allows you to audit them effectively by just pushing a button. At the end of the day, you know who or what it needs to patch or needs to upgrade. Then we have the CAM load master. This is basically a load balancer tool that helps to drive application delivery and provides security checks as well. Then on the WhatsApp Go side, we offer monitoring and observability of your entire network once you set up the WhatsApp Go. So this is an agentless setup, so it's able to monitor your entire operations, your servers infrastructure, your office infrastructure to see what needs to be fixed. For example, if the server goes down, then you can detect when happened and inform your ops team to go and take a look. And last but not least, on the lower right side, this is a Flowmon, threat detection and response system that you can install in our environment as well. So WhatsApp Go and Flowmon works seamlessly together. Now, if something happens in your network, for example, you actually can detect that something happened, and then based on your playbook, response to that incident. So for example, if someone accidentally click on a tool that install BitTorrent, for example, then the response will be immediately you shut down that server. So all in all, these are the offerings that we have from Progress. Now let's move on to Sitefinity. So Progress Sitefinity is a DXP platform that allows you to generate your content or to use it effectively. We are in the 2022 Magic Quadrant, Gartner Magic Quadrant. So they rated us as a good value for money if you will compare us between Adobe, Sitecore, those enterprise content management that some of you might have used. For Sitefinity, we are basically easy to use with the low code and drag and drop features to create forms, to create personalization, to create content for targeting and for display purposes. So we also have an integration with our own native chat, which is our conversational chatbot. This will utilize the content from Sitefinity to drive your response from the chatbot, and I will show that to you in a bit. Now, why does marketer choose us? Basically, we are a user-friendly platform that delivers a fast and cost-effective experience to your users. So from out of the box, we have an omni-channel digital experience, whether you use the same content from the same CMS, and you can publish it on the website, on your kiosk, on your mobile platform. And it's easy for your marketers to create those content and fast for your developer to create new widgets, new templates as well. Then we also include the personalization aspect so that you can actually optimize your customer journey. And this will be shown later in the demo. So this slide makes up the four main pillars of Sitefinity today. Now, the first one is, of course, from one instance of content management system, Sitefinity, you can actually manage multi-site, multilingual, and provide the omni-channel CMS experience. So what this means is that, let's say you have different sites, you have different languages, you can use the same API to retrieve those content to show to your end users. So it's easy to manage everything from one location, including setting up the rules and responsibility. Then, of course, we have our actionable analytics, which call Sitefinity Insight. So this is our analytics platform, and it allows you to do personalization, A/B testing, all from this system. And again, we will show this to you later. Sitefinity by default is cloud enabled. So what this means is that you can install Sitefinity in the cloud, even on your on-prem as well, as long as they support ASP.NET, and it's easily extensible to consume content from API sources or to provide content through the Sitefinity API and to be used anywhere in a headless manner. Then the last but not least, we also provide B2B, B2C e-commerce integration. We also provide site search that is tailored to your business, especially in 14.3, which we have the facade search, which I'll show you later. So now let's jump into the Sitefinity demo. So in Sitefinity, this is a demo that I will go through today, one of the demos that I will go through today. Basically, this is a demo that we have done in our content management system that showcase the different content with the logo, the standard menu items from left to right, the content, the banners, all the different things that what makes up a new content. So we have the shops, we have the news item as well. And then from there, let's log into the content management system itself. So once you log into the CMS, the first thing you saw would be the dashboard. And the dashboard is where you can see where most of the content are being used or being edited. So here you can quickly get started to create new page or new content. And this is what we show for the newer versions. Every time you upgrade, you'll be shown what's new. So in this case, we have the support for .NET Core, the teacher integration, and external teacher asset management integration. Over here, you can see what everyone is working on for the last 5 pages. So it could be someone editing and marketing content or even multi-language support. Now over here is where the editor or where the users are working on. So from here you can immediately go to the last 5 content edit, or you can actually click through to look at other things. So we have access to Google Analytics. You can actually integrate here to show the most used content as well. So the entire dashboard is actually user configurable. Now let's go to the pages itself. Okay, we jump into the multi-site. So when I jump to the page itself, you can see that all these pages are laid out from a top to down, and it reflects the left to right manner of the website. So for example, if these services will include development and marketing, and over here that includes the development and marketing level 2 pages. So this is how we structure the page dashboard. Now for multi-site implementation, let's say I have one site here and I am able to edit other sites' content, I can easily click on this down arrow and then choose the site that I want to work on today. So today I work on demo, tomorrow I might work on Quantum International, and I click immediately there. Then it immediately jump me to the page content, well, the entire site editing for this website, Quantum International. So as you can see, since this is an international site, it caters to the English and the Spanish audience over here. Then if you want to, whatever content that you shared within the CMS, let's say image content or PDF or files, anything, you can reuse them in the other side by configuring it in the multi-site environment. So what I meant by this is that, let's say, for example, I have images that is used in the other libraries, other multi-site library. This is a default library. I can choose to show other libraries in the multi-site environment as well. So in this case, I have a healthcare library. So I can show other images from that particular storage. But then today I'll just default to the categories for the demo. Now, for multi-site, multi-language, let's say today I already have an English page, which is what you see over here. And I want to edit the content. I want to create a new content for, let's say, marketing, which doesn't have the page created. I can just simply click the Chinese language in this case. Then I will go over to create the marketing page here. So I type in the page name. I can choose to copy the content widget from the English section so that it will replicate whatever English section that you have. And this makes it easier to modify the content, or you can start from scratch. But for today, I'll just copy everything from the English section. Okay, so what the system has done is basically replicate the entire English marketing page. In this case, what you see here. Okay. And then I can immediately see that, hey, this is everything that I have, no problem. Then I can immediately go to edit by replacing the text, for example. So I click on edit. I copy the text from external source, for example, and then replace this text here. So the image, I leave it as it is, everything I leave it as it is, then I can save the page. So what you see here is already the English one. Then if I'm happy, I can preview it, for example. Then I can change this later, then I can go and publish it. So if you want to look at the English back here, you can choose simply toggle this to view the English page. So this is how you do the multi-language editing on the page level. Now there's another way to do multi-language, which is to do it on the content level. So a page could include content from various sources. So a content could be a news item, could be an image or documents or blog or whichever is required of you. So today I just want to go to the news. And from here, I have a content photo contest in the English page. So I click in. So immediately, this is a test, of course. So I can see that I have the header, I have the content, I have the summary, everything here. And if today I want to include the Chinese one, which is not available, I just click here. It allows me to immediately start editing the content, and I can see that the original English one. So in case I want to use this as a translation to the Chinese on the fly, I can do that. But since I already have the content in Mandarin, let me go and paste over here. All right. Now I'm happy. I can preview it. I can publish it as well. So once this is done, I can switch back to English, for example, and then I can review the different languages one as well. So once it's done, I go back there. So immediately you can see that the content has been updated to include the Chinese version. So this makes it easier to do multi-language editing. So this applies to any content block that you are looking at. Now, that's it for the multi-language. Now let's go into personalization and customer journey. Now before we go on to that, I want to introduce Sitefinity Insight to you. So in this screen, what you see is the Sitefinity Insight dashboard. Now Sitefinity Insight is also provided for any of our Sitefinity license up to 100,000 visitors. So essentially what this means is you can actually track 100,000 visitors in your website before the uh, ability stops. We will still continue to track, so as long as you are able to purge the 100,000, you can actually continue to use it. Maybe you want to purge it every few months, depending on the number of contacts that you have that comes to the website. And if there's a need to increase those contacts, we also have the add-on for that, all the way up to the unlimited contacts option. Now, inside, what you see here is essentially what you can see for the conversions touch point of the people who actually come to your website, the visitors, the new contacts. So this dashboard is actually able to be managed by anyone. You can actually customize to show what you want to see at a glance. And we have 3 different sections on the left. One's for performance, to see how your website is performing based on the different kind of content conversions that you have. And then we have the optimization. Essentially, this is for A/B testing, personalization, and the recommendations. And today, we will talk about personas. So as you know, a persona is basically the kind of people that you are actually trying to address on your website. It could be people who are doing purchasing IT items, or people who are actually looking at certain kind of information. For today's demo, I am looking at a potential client for users who are actually coming to the Quantum website. So I can easily define a persona based on that by clicking define personas. So I click on the name, so it can be anything. So in this case, I put it as a potential client. All these are not compulsory, but if your UX team has already provided to you different personas, you can actually use this to create it. So it makes it easier to show up. Now I can define a personal threshold. So essentially what this means is that the points that you put down is to determine how this persona is triggered. So for example, if this person keeps visiting a particular page 10 times, and each time you actually assign a score of 1, so by the 10th time, you actually will assign the personas to this. So today's demo, I will assign at 10 points. You will see why later. I will save these personas. Okay. Okay. So this is a mandatory info. So when this persona is created, you need to add the rules to see when the scoring can be done. So in this case, I will define the condition. So I will have a form. So what I determine is the form will actually be when a user submits a form that is contains a URL called landing page, then apparently I have a rules that is being created. Okay, so if the form contains the word landing page, I will select the personas for a potential client, and I'll save the rules. So this is done for the persona. And how can this be triggered will be done within Sitefinity itself. So next, I will create a personalization aspect for this by creating a user segment. So I immediately go to the marketing section, create the personalization. Okay, I'll create a user segment. So a user segment is based on the different characteristic. So in this case, a characteristic can be based on IP location. Your location, for example, you want to target people based in a certain city or certain country, you can do that. Or different URLs, landing pages. So it could be a Facebook advertisement that arrive on the landing page with the so-called UTM content or UTM source code. So in this case, I will choose the persona, and I will select potential client. I will save it. Okay, and ensure that this is active, I'll create this segment. Okay, so my user segment has been created. So what do I do next? Now I need to ensure that to show how the potential users, potential clients, once they fill in the form, I want to show them a different message in the header when they come back to the website itself. Okay, now let's go to the personalization aspect. So I go to the home page. So while it's loading up, I will customize this area, okay, easily. So I click here, add a personalized version. So what? I'll choose a user segment. So in this case, it's a potential client. So what it does is that it will actually replicate the default banner, this area, content area. So maybe I want to say hello from. Then I want to change the image as well. So I want to change to this image. And then I save it. So there you have it. So for potential client, for people who actually fill in a landing page form, once they come back to the website again, then they'll be able to see the different content here. So you can actually preview this as well easily to make sure that it's actually triggering correctly. So your personalization console will be here. The default page is this text and this image. I can select a specific segment and just to make sure everything's okay. So it looks okay. So I'll do a save and then I'll publish it. Okay, so how do we actually test it out on the live site? Let's go back to the console. I will have I will view this in basically this landing page that I created earlier with the form. So let's take a look at it first. So essentially, this landing page could be something that you created to drive your conversions. It could be something that you use your Facebook to let users to reach here. And at the bottom, I have a user form. So this is the one that will trigger the personalization. As long as someone actually fills in this form, and the next time they come back to the homepage, they'll be able to see the customized message for them. Okay, let's do that right now and see how it works. Okay, let's view it in private mode. So once you click on the landing page to view it, you can see the landing page as it is. So what you see here is the landing page that I created earlier, and I will go down to fill in the form. For example, I have my name, I fill in the numbers, and I submit. So once this page is submitted, what happens is I have a thank you message where I created in the form earlier. And as you remember, what I have done earlier was to change the image in the main page to show a different text and image. So let's go back there and take a look. So now once I fill in the form, you can see that the default text and image has been changed from the earlier one lady to these two ladies, which we configured earlier in the CMS. And this is a text. So you can actually do all this within Sitefinity itself. Now let's go back to take a look at the data that we have submitted. All right, now let's go to Insight itself. For all the personalization that you have created in Sitefinity, the reports will be created for you automatically. So these are the various reports that I created earlier, and it will be done within 24 hours so that the system is actually done on automatic basis. So for example, it actually show the different conversions, different segments on this personalization report. And over here, it also shows the conversion uplift. So in this sense, the darker color will show the most uplift, essentially where the people are actually filling the forms from, what kind of personas and which page. So you can actually use this data to enhance your website. Now let's see the different kind of user tracking that we have. So other than the personalization report that you see here, which is the page view, personalized views, the percentage of the personalized view over time, you can see the conversions, you can see the different segments and their conversions. You can also see the context itself. So for example, since I fill in the form, I am a known contact. What this means is that the insight can attribute the conversion to a known person. In this case, for this particular person, which is me. So the first time I actually went to the website was today, and I actually reached the landing page. It can show you that I actually submitted the form on the landing page, and then it actually recognized me as a persona because of the 10 points that was attributed to me. And at the end of the day, I actually went to the homepage, which has been personalized for myself based on the personalization that was given shown earlier. So the thing about Insight is that you can also retroactively create rules so that data that was collected earlier, maybe like a few months ago, based on the different rules, different conversions, once you created those conversions, the data will be reprocessed to show you the different conversions KPI, the different conversions value as well. So unlike Google Analytics, where if you were to modify a report, the reports will only start showing you the data that was collected after the report criteria has been saved. So that is one of the main differences between Insights and Google Analytics. So let me show you another context that we have from earlier. Okay, this was done for a particular demo. Okay, I will choose a different data center. Okay, so this is for a fleet management client. Right, so what I want to show you is for this particular user, has different kind of context information. Give me a second. And so you have different kind of users. You first notice this user 1 month ago, so it became a contact only 2 days ago. And then what we can see from here is the different touch point that they hit, what kind of pages that they view. And if they were, because they actually came in 2 months ago, we know them as an anonymous user. So for example, in this case, we track the 2 months ago, they visit the career, and 1 month later, they visit the rest of the pages. And then from there, once they fill in a certain form or they visit a number of certain pages, we can recognize the persona, assign the persona to them, so that you can pass this on as a lead scoring mechanism or prospective customers to their marketing team for them to contact the various organizations. So that is how Insight works together with the user tracking and analytics and customization. Next, we're going to go through some of the new features in Sitefinity version 14.3. These are not all the new features, but these are the more interesting ones. So we have the faceted search that allows you to narrow down your search terms to find the items that you want based from all the way from the point where you start searching for it. Then we have the progress native chat integration, either as a guided chat or a FAQ integration. Last but not least, we have the ability to see the outdated pages as well as using the script managers to manage JavaScript on the various system. So let's jump into the demo. So over here is Coriander Lane, which is a corporate site for a set of food publishing company or restaurants. So this is another demo from us, and in this site we have different recipes based for different kind of food. Now let's say for example today you want to look for a particular kind of food based on the ingredients. You can basically go do a search for herbs, for example. And from there, it will immediately list all the search result that has the word herbs in it. So you can actually go through the different languages as well. Now, for example, today I want to narrow down to those that includes mushroom as well. So I just check that. So all the herbs that includes the filter for mushroom will actually be narrowed down to just these three. And if I want to include eggs, so I can basically filter according to what I need to do. So This can be easily implemented in Sitefinity, and you basically need to do proper tagging and categorization and when you create content inside the CMS. So now next we have the native chat integration. Like I mentioned, there are two types of integration that I will go through today. The first one is basically a demo on the guided way of a chatbot integration. So in this case, I have the chatbot icon here on the right hand side. What I will do is basically click on it. Now this demo will basically help me to find the nearest Coriander Lane restaurants around the US. So by default, it asks me whether I want to look back based on my city location or based on my IP tracking in the browser. So let's go for city first. In city, let's say I want to go by city. It asks me to select a city. So, for example, I can click on Austin. If I'm in that city, I select it. Then it asks me what range. So this is in kilometers or miles, depending on your requirements. So I choose 10. Then it asks me whether it's kilometer or miles, and then it will list the restaurant that is in the database in Sitefinity. So the locations are stored in Sitefinity. You can actually use this based on any requirements. You can also integrate with external system like OpenMap, Google Map, or even any CRM platform. Native Chat can integrate is through Sitefinity FAQ section as well. So let's say, for example, this is the franchise portal for the Coriander Lane restaurants. And people who come in here might have some questions about the content or whatever that they need. Then they can just activate the chatbot, and the chatbot will ask you to request for some questions. So, for example, I want to know what about the financial reports for the entire franchise requirement. Uh, so I can ask for a financial report. Now, it doesn't understand what I'm trying to say because this is not related to the financial report questions in the CMS yet. So then it try to let me know, is this what I'm looking for? And if it is so, then it basically let me know that, hey, this is what you're going to look for, and this is the location that you want to find. Now, let's say I have trained it enough to know that it is what I'm looking for. I can find the correlation data. So immediately it will tell me that, hey, this is the financial information they are looking for. Now let's go back to the previous example again. There, if you notice, there's a search feature there. So if this is not the thing I'm looking for, I can request a chatbot to either search through the entire Sitefinity search index, or I can get it to search in Google a custom search as well. So in this case, it managed to find two reports for me, and this is basically the first report is talking about the financial, the other is the shopping online grocery shopping report. So I can restart this as well. So how we can configure this is basically do it through Sitefinity. In this version of Sitefinity portal, we have the content and the FAQ section. So let's say, for example, you want to create new questions or you want to edit a current question, you can basically just click on the question there, where you can locate the orientation files. You can, of course, you can find it in the orientation folder, or you can contact us for it. So once I'm happy with this, I can publish it, and this will be immediately published to the chatbot using the service hook which you saw earlier. So let's try this again from the front end orientation files. So let's restart the chatbot. Immediately, you notice that this is already reflected in the question and answers. So originally it was just this, but I added the extra words for it. So this is how you can use native chat together with Sitefinity. Now the other thing that we are going to show you is the outdated page. So let's go back to the previous demo that we have. Now, outdated page can be configured within the system to maybe show arbitrary number. So, for example, in this case, I have configured to show outdated page from 180 days ago. So, in this listing, I can simply come here, click on the outdated page, and immediately it will show me all the pages that has been created 180 days ago, and it flag it as outdated. So this is useful for a website that has a lot of content and you have a small team of people to follow up on the various content, whether you need to remove it or to expire it. You can also go to each of those individual pages and to set as outdated after a certain days. So by default, I have 80 days, or you can set it after a fixed arbitrary number of days, or you can don't need to outdate it because it's always a up-to-date information over there. So this is what you can do with the outdated information. Next is the script manager, like I mentioned earlier. So a script manager is similar to Google Tag Manager. So in terms of Google Tag Manager, you basically have the ability to insert any JavaScript, any codes inside your system. Whereas in Script Manager, it's actually quite similar to that. And you have the ability to define which site you want to set the script, JavaScript for. So for example, you can have it appear in all sites in a multi-site environment, or you can select it to the different sites that you want to show only for. So for example, in this case, I just want to show, insert the JavaScript into the demo site. Then from here, I will configure the script that I want to put, whether it's in the head or in the body. Once I'm happy with that, then I can publish it. I can do multiple JavaScript as well, whether it's for one site or again for multiple site. So one of the use cases for people with multi-site, they want to do scripting like Facebook Pixel or Hotjar to look at the more of the hotspots whenever users are coming to the website on a temporary basis. Then they can just simply use this to do the insertion of the JavaScript. Thank you.